Welcome, everybody. Oh, I don't see a lot of faces. I see a lot of names. Oh, there's a face. Hi, Marie Andre. Welcome. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Sheldon. Welcome. Hello. Hi, Susie and Bonnie. Hi, Terry. Housley. Hi, Terry and Deborah. There we go. Everybody's coming in. Juliana, welcome. Ramona. Hi there. Hi, Colleen. Colleen, you look kind of bored. Are you bored? I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you. Hi, Nancy Cook. How you doing? Hello. And Sharon, Michaela, Mama Cats. Does that mean you have a lot of cats, Mama Cats? No? Okay. Hi, Anne. Hi, Francesada. What a pretty name. And Anna. Welcome, everybody. We got everybody coming on. That's so great. Noreen and Marilyn, Judith, welcome. Hi, Chris. Hi, Inez. Look at that background, Inez. My goodness. You look like you should be singing opera, my dear. Oh, that's so funny. Hi, Kathy. Hey, Joel. How you doing, Joel Becker? Nice to see. Nice to always put a face to that name. I see you online all the time, always quoting A Course in Miracles, so I know how important that is to you. Yes. And hi, Leslie. Hi, Lorraine and Anne and Matt, although you look like Anne, right? All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm glad you're here, and we'll continue to welcome people in, and then we'll get started. I'm so appreciative that you're all here, that you're interested in meditating together, that you're interested in meditating at all, that you care about presence at this time on the planet, which is a great thing. Very important, really important now more than ever. And I was just saying to Terry, our fabulous webmaster, wave to everybody, Terry. There you are up in the corner. Hi, Terry. Terry's just been with me forever, and she does such a beautiful job of just taking care of everything technologically. And her greatest gift is her unflappability. She is like completely unflappable. And so she inspires peace all around her because of that. Of course, I wonder what your life is like in your head, Terry. Hopefully you're meditating too. I know you are. Anyway, yes, this is a time, isn't it? Oh, look, we have Judith and Chuck back. Hi there. Welcome to you. I'm glad you're both here. Look at you, troopers hanging in there. I'm grateful that you're all here, and I'm grateful that we can meditate together and that we can visualize peace for Ukraine and peace for the people of Russia, who also are just so heartbroken with what's going on. People all over the world who are heartbroken with what's going on. And I was thinking this week that as horrible as it is to experience what we're experiencing firsthand and what we see online, there's a part of me that hopes that the gift of the internet is that it gives humanity a front row seat to what war really looks like, to the personal nature of war, so that it will put an end to this barbaric practice sooner rather than later. And as I said, I think in the last time we met, it's always so important to remember that one human being raising their level of consciousness has a profound impact on the planet. You can do more with one human being with a higher level of consciousness than you can with 1 million people who are unconscious and unawake. So I honor all of you for your commitment to consciousness, for your commitment to being awake, and recognizing that awakeness begins with being present to your life. So with that, let us start with very specifically a few brief success stories. I'd love for a couple of people to just answer the question, how has your life improved as a result of meditating consistently over this last period of time together? And if you would like to contribute your success story, which always inspires all of us, it just encourages all of us to keep going, just go to the reaction button and raise your hand, or you can raise your physical hand. It might be harder for me to see you because we have so many people here, but I'll scroll through, but better to raise your actual hand. I mean, raise the, use the raise the hand button would be awesome. That would be great. Let me come back to the beginning. And Leslie, let's start with you. Hey, Leslie.
I am so very grateful. I have been meditating now. I started just with my journal every day, and now I'm doing it a number of times in the day, and also before I go to bed at night. I am feeling so much more peaceful, connected to spirit like never before, getting messages and intuitive thoughts that I never had before either. Slowing down and more mindful. Great. So it's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Good for you. Good for you. It sounds like you're really off to a strong practice. And that's what I'm hoping here, is to inspire all of you. If we hang in there together as we have, the longer you do it, the better, the greater the chances are that it becomes a habit. How many of you are meditating consistently? I know we've moved to 10 minutes, but yeah, okay. Yeah, just raise your hands for a sec so I can see, and keep them up for minutes as I scroll through, just to see. There we go. Oh, good. So, wow, a lot of you are doing this consistently. Remember, it's not perfection, right? Some of you are kind of half doing it. Okay, Joel, let's hear. Tell me what's working for you, though, Joel. Give us just a brief success example.
When I introduce people to meditation, I tell them that it's accumulative, like a muscle is built by being used. Yeah. And as you go, you change, because you know peace more intimately, because that's what is in the heart. It's like you move from your head down to your heart.
Yes, yes, yes.
For me, that's the way I do it.
So you feel like that's been happening more and more for you, Joel?
Yes.
That's great. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's great. Heidi, how about you? There you go.
Well, I've actually been meditating for a while now, and I think one of the most magical realizations came when my husband made a comment how much he could tell a difference in my level of patience, in my ability to handle emotional shifts without, flying off the handle. And really that touched me more than anything else, because it wasn't even something I felt that I had noticed. Yeah. But for him to be able to say what a dramatic change it has made in just the way I am.
Wow, that's beautiful, Heidi. Thank you so much. That's exactly also what we're looking for, is being able to just be more grounded in life, so that we're not knocked over by the things that happen, and so that we can be more loving people, right? Not reactive, but loving and present. Doesn't mean you don't have uncomfortable feelings, doesn't mean you don't get pissed off or you don't get reactive in some way, but you catch yourself sooner. So that's really great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Maureen, let's go to you. Hi, Maureen. I can't see you, but I see your name. Maureen. All right. Oh, there you, no. Okay. How about Ricky? Hi there. If you can unmute, that'd be great.
Hi, Cheryl. I'm also a miracle a Course in Miracles student. There we go. Okay. And so I'm in my second year with Robert and Holly.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I mean, I definitely feel my anxiety levels have diminished using the daily practices and lessons. And it's really just, helping me hone into where I am in a fear-based mindset versus coming from love.
Yes.
And, it's making me start wanting to make more significant changes that I've been scared of doing for many years.
Great.
So.
Great. Yes, that's great. So yeah, we want to help people reduce anxiety, because when we're less anxious, we can make changes that really improve our lives, right? And it's so important. Thank you, Ricky, for saying this, that one of the big ways that you're becoming kind of a miracle meditator is you begin to just notice when you're feeling anxious, or you begin to notice your state of mind, because remember, who you really are is the noticer, right? You're not the frightened one. You're not the anxious one. You're not the angry one. You're the one noticing who's frightened or anxious or angry. And that's what meditation allows us to do. It allows us to notice, when am I being loving? When am I being fearful? And when we can notice that, we always want to remember to ask ourselves, who's noticing? Who just caught me being loving? Who just caught me being fearful? I do that a lot during the day. You know, I will, thank you very much, Ricky. I will ask myself, sweetheart, who just got upset? Who noticed that you got upset there? Because that's who you really are, the soul behind the mind, right? So thank you. Thanks so much. Joan, what about you? Oh, for some reason it's not, okay. Jerry? Okay, people must have just put their, oh, there you are. Hi, Jerry.
Hi.
You raised your hand, okay.
I've been meditating. I haven't done much the last 2 weeks, but I was on a serious meditation program for a while. And I think my intuition is just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
And I do feel calmer, even though, you know, when you mention the word Ukraine, I just start crying. I mean, it's just gotten to the point where
Yes.
I'm centered, but yet I'm just really feeling pain. You know, so that's one reason I wanted to be on the call today.
I'm glad you're here, Jerry. It's wonderful to see you. I've known you a long time.
Yes,
Now, let me ask you the big question, because this is going to be helpful for everybody. You said I've been a long-term meditator, except for the last 2 weeks. What happened, do you think, that knocked you off course? Because we all get knocked off.
Oh, well, I was taking a 21-day meditation program and it ended. And then I basically just took a break. But I feel like I'm sort of a walking meditation. At some times in my life that I'm very present.
Yeah.
As much as I can be. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks. And I'm glad you're here. And hopefully this will start another 21 days for you.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Because, it's funny how the mind can be very tricky, and it can take us off track during the times when we need it the most. And given what's happening in the world and the pain of what's happening in Ukraine, if anything, these are the times where we want to be really loving with ourselves, which means we return to the practices that help keep us centered and more peaceful as you can be. It's not always easy. I mean, I spend just yesterday afternoon, I was curled up in a ball saying to my husband, I'm just heartbroken. Like, it's, how do you live on this planet as a conscious being, knowing what's going on? Like, it's just, and that's when I have to say, come back to this moment, because let yourself cry, which I did. And I think that's really important, because each time we cry, we're grieving a lot. There's been a lot of suffering in the world, and we've got to come back to center. So let's do this. Let's do a meditation for peace in Ukraine, shall we? As we did before. Let's do that, and then I will come back and I'll talk a little bit about, just briefly, about the topic for this week, and we'll do some more meditating together. So feel free to put yourself into a comfortable position, whatever that means for you. And I've asked my husband this time to not come down in the middle of this and feed our little kitties. I didn't realize it was so loud last time. So just get comfortable, and if you feel okay, you can close your eyes. And I'm just going to gently lead us through a meditation. Once again, imagining a golden blanket of peace over Ukraine. And you can use this yourself during the week anytime, or you can go to YouTube and listen to this again anytime, especially when you feel heartbroken. So take a few slow, deep breaths, knowing once again that because you've closed your eyes, your brain is already making more alpha waves. And those brain waves are slowing you down, gently beginning to quiet the mind, to quiet the body. Breathing slowly through your nose. And even more slowly out through your nose. Remembering that as you extend your exhale, you are calming your body more and more with each breath. Together, we hold an intention for peace in Ukraine. For a spiritual ceasefire and a physical ceasefire. Together, we keep our vision raised above the war, above the painful images. We rise above those visions and see a golden blanket of peace descending over the land. See this blanket slowly and gently lowering down, 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 down over the land. Quieting the war. Silencing the bombing. Comforting those that are suffering. Ending this insanity. See all of Ukraine covered in this golden blanket of peace. Wrap yourself in this golden blanket of peace. Let it also heal your heart, your suffering, your pain. We are powerful together. And we intend for the fighting to stop. Hold this blanket of peace around you. Keep it with you. The high being that you are has a powerful influence on the world. Each time you return here to the present moment, this is where our power lives. Our ability to manifest, our ability to end our own suffering. Our suffering does not contribute to the betterment of the world. Our peaceful thoughts do. And when you're ready, you can slowly return to the breath. Gently bring yourself back to this moment with me here. Or you can stay meditating. That's perfectly fine too. Yes, lots of people cry during meditation. For some people, it's a new experience to be present with themselves. Sometimes the first feeling that comes up is sadness. But we're also talking about a very sad time, a very sad experience. I think it's wonderful, Sally, that you cry. We need more people that cry in the world. It's healing. Okay. That was a really beautiful meditation. It felt beautiful to me. Did it feel good to all of you? Yeah. So you can return to that the image of the golden blanket of peace anytime, whether you want to wrap yourself in it, whether you want to, see a blanket of peace. I want you all to know, I don't know if you know this, but the last time we meditated together, in less than 24 hours, there was a talk of ceasefire in Ukraine. It was the first formal talk of ceasefire in Ukraine. And I saw that as a good sign. Eventually, when we become more and more present and conscious, things can happen in the physical realm very quickly. But they don't happen quickly at lower levels of consciousness, which is actually a really good thing, right? Because if you were young and you were angry at your friend and you had a fight and you said, I wish you were dead, and you could manifest really well, that wouldn't be a good situation, would it? So the more we raise our consciousness, the more we become conscious, awake human beings, the more we care about humanity, right? We care about each other. We care about the planet. And so our intentions become very powerful. And our ability to manifest those intentions becomes powerful, not because we're attached to it in any way, because the ego is the part of us, the mind gets attached, but the higher being can gently hold an intention and have it begin to manifest in their lives, often without us even realizing it. It's suddenly there. So I believe in the collective power of our intention to be able to do that for Ukraine. Kathy, I love that image of picturing all of the refugees being wrapped in golden blankets as well. It's a really beautiful image. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, see, lots of people cry. Okay. So the one thing I wanted to talk about today before we go to a meditation again is about, well, let me back up and just, you heard me reinforce the meditation tools when we began. And I've said to you before, and I'll say it here again, I like to keep reinforcing things over and over again because they get installed in our neural networks and they become easier to access. So closing your eyes creates more alpha waves, breathing through the nose, in slowly and out even more slowly helps to calm the mind down, helps to calm the body down. Sometimes the body needs to be calmed down first before the mind can be calmed down, right? So breathing in that way really helps. Focusing on a word or a mantra, if that helps you to stay focused. Sometimes you can also do things like count or visualize numbers in front of you. I'll play a little game sometimes with myself and I'll count back from 100 and I'll visualize the numbers. And if I lose track of the number, I start at 100 again. It's like a game I play with myself. I try to get to 1, starting at 100. So, doing things like that are tools that can also really help. So word or a mantra. Remember, we talked about stillness, right? As you meditate, being still. Noticing where in your body you are not still. Is your tongue moving around? Is your eyes moving around? Is your foot tapping? Bringing stillness to the body as a way to bring presence to yourself. And that wonderful little game from my friend Joseph, watching for what your next thought is going to be, which is a great way to pull yourself into the present moment. Today, I wanted to invite all of you to bring our meditation into your daily life by beginning to look for one regular habit you have in your life that you will bring more presence to. So, for example, if you're brushing your teeth, right? In the morning, you wake up and you decide, okay, I'm going to do a toothbrush meditation. And I'm not going to close my eyes necessarily, but I'm going to brush my teeth and I'm going to notice things like, oh, what does the toothpaste taste like? Remember, I've talked about how senses bring us back into the present moment. By noticing what we sense, we come back to the present moment. What does the toothpaste taste like? How warm or cold is the water that I'm using? Where am I brushing my teeth? Am I brushing the back molars? Am I brushing my front teeth? How many bubbles do I have in my mouth, right? How many times have I spit spit out the toothpaste during brushing bringing real presence to at least one activity while you're chopping vegetables, noticing, what does it feel like to hold a knife in your hand? What does it sound like to let the knife go through whatever it is you're chopping? What is it like to hear yourself pick them up? What do the vegetables feel like in your hand when you're putting them in a pan or in a dish? Driving in the car. Are you present for driving? What do you see around you? If you start to name what you see around you, it brings you into the present moment. I see the trees swaying in the wind. I see the blackbird that landed on the fence. I see the driver's license plate in front of me. This is the way we begin to bring presence into our daily lives. And all I want you to do for this next period of time before we meet again, if you all would like to meet again, I would be happy to do this again. Then all I want you to do is continue with the 10 minutes a day. We want to anchor in a successful meditation. We don't want to add to it. I want you to just really set yourself up to succeed. And what we are going to add is we're going to add one daily practice, something you do every day that you will do with presence. So for example, if you commute to work and you usually listen to the radio or listen to a podcast, at least take some portion of that trip and don't listen to anything. Instead, decide, I'm going to drive as a present person. That would actually be a really good thing for all of us to do, wouldn't it? Actually, when we're behind this, multi-thousand pound vehicle, to actually be present for it. Or brushing your teeth, cooking, eating breakfast. If you have pets, feeding your animals. Sometimes I practice being present while I'm cleaning the litter box. What does it sound like listening to the cat litter go through the little scoop that I have, and oh, how many peas are in the box? I know it sounds crazy, but this is life, people, and this is how we bring presence to our daily life. So I would love for all of you to pick one daily habit and use that as a way of really practicing what's it like to actually be present for my life in this moment. Now, you might want to pick something more enjoyable, like a walk outside. But I'll tell you, the daily habits, the things that we do religiously every single day, are great ways to practice being present for yourself and for your life, being in this moment. So that will be the homework for this time. And what I would love for us to do together now is I would love for us to do a 10-minute meditation together. And so take a moment to get something to drink if you need it, or to get comfortable with wherever you are. Put some Kleenex near you if you tend to cry while you're meditating. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, and while you're doing that, let me just ask Carolyn Klein, if you're here, would you message me in the chat box, because I just have something that I want to give you, and I don't know how to reach you. I did receive your beautiful note, and so you can, in the chat box here. Oh, there you are, Carolyn. Okay. Will you, Carolyn, if you don't mind, would you just message T. Nolan your email address? Because I know you lost a sweet pet recently, and I'm so sorry for that. And I want to just give you access. I have a new pet CD that's coming out in April called How to Survive the Loss of a Pet, but it's not available yet. But Terry will get you an early copy of that. And I think that will help you right now. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I found you, because I didn't know how to reach you, sweetheart. All right, here we are. Nice, comfortable position. I'm going to set the alarm for 10 minutes. I'm not going to say a lot. I'm just going to guide you every now and then, because I really just want to support you in being present with yourself, not with my voice. But I'll just do a little bit as we've done before, just to kind of help you be present in this moment. So you can close your eyes, gently close your eyes and get comfortable, like you know how to do so well. You're all becoming so masterful at meditating. It's really beautiful to see. You're already making more alpha waves and your breath is slowing and deepening, traveling in through your nose and even more slowly out through your nose. If that feels comfortable to you, if you need to change that, you always can. You are the boss of you. Allowing yourself to rest. To be at peace. You are entitled to be at peace, regardless of what's happening in the world. We need you sane and centered. Beautiful. Just let your mind do what minds do. Lean away. Remember who you are. You are the soul watching everything. Settling in more and more. You are an important being. Your presence is powerful. Thank you for giving yourself that gift. When you're ready, you can come back slowly and gently here with me. I thought I would take a few minutes to answer any questions if you have any. You're welcome to either put them in the chat box below or raise your hand. I'm going to ask that you keep them to questions so that we can make sure people's needs are taken care of rather than comments or suggestions right now, because I want to make sure that we help people to continue staying, committed to this practice. So Terry, let's start with you.
Thanks, Cheryl. Excuse me, sorry. I wanted to ask you a question. When we did our first meditation for peace in Ukraine, you had mentioned how painful it can be to see the images and how crying is a form of, grief and it's good. I wanted to get your take on this. I often, I don't really watch the news just because it crushes me. Sometimes it's just very difficult for me to do that. I'll read about things. If there's images, I sometimes pass those by because it's very painful. Mm-hmm. Well, this afternoon I was watching the Honorable Ketanji Brown Jackson's confirmation hearing, and on the screen came images of what was happening in Ukraine, and it was the first time that I've actually witnessed it.
Yes.
And
just breathe for a minute. Just let yourself be there. Let yourself be right there. It's okay, sweetheart. It's okay. Just let yourself cry. I'm speaking to everybody. I'm not speaking to you, Terry, right now when I say it does nobody any good for all of you to traumatize yourself with these images or these stories. We know what's going on over there. And there's no reason, there's no valid reason to be watching the news. People will say to me, oh, but you need to be informed. There are plenty of ways to be informed without exposing yourself to those images. And all of the news, every network, all of the news that is not specifically geared toward not traumatizing you, all of it is geared to keep you engaged. CNN, Fox, the whole gamut. I get a lot of my information from Jessica Yellen, News Not Noise. I like, if you might want to write that down. Now, News Not Noise. And Terry, if you could do me a favor, just look that up. I want to make sure it's newsnotnoise.com. Just if you could put her name and her website in the chat box for everyone, that would be great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. She's been a journalist a long time. She's saying she gives warnings on Instagram if it's sensitive material, so it doesn't pop up. Mm-hmm. But sometimes that happens. There's two things I do when things like that happen, because like you, the more present we become, the more we know enough to return to presence, but we're also very open and empathetic and sensitive. So there's nothing like, this has happened to me, and I won't go into the details of it either because I don't want to traumatize people here, but it's happened to me as well where, something will pop up at an unexpected time. And I can't, I'm like, there's two things you can do when that happens. Number one is tapping. Now, I don't have to teach you tapping. I can just tell you that the collarbone spot, so I can't show you with the shirt, but here's where your collarbone is, everybody. Just below the collarbone, on either side is a sensitive spot. It's called the collarbone spot. So if you feel your collarbone, put your fingers right in that ridge, and drop them down just like an inch or two. Right here's the collarbone spot. Now, you can just tap right there. Even though I feel traumatized by these images, I choose to feel peaceful and calm. It's all I want you to say. Even though I feel traumatized by what I saw, I choose to feel peaceful and calm. So tapping the collarbone spot can help. The other thing you can do is a great little trick I learned 30 years ago when I was studying NLP, way directly from Richard Bandler's work. If you hold the image in mind, Terry, so you see the image in your mind and you go like this with your finger and literally try to follow your finger with your eyes, you can erase the image from your mind.
Oh, wow.
And it actually works. I've been teaching that for years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you can even try it with a good image. You don't have to, but don't pick one you don't want to remember. But you can literally just, if you hold the image in mind and then go like this and try to follow your finger as best you can with your eyes, it's like you're just wiping the image away.
Okay.
Great little tip.
Wonderful. Thank you.
We remember, I think I said in the blog this week, we are creating trauma tracks in the brain when we're watching this stuff repetitively. I don't care who you are. I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how centered you are. You're kidding yourself if you don't think that you are deepening neural networks in the brain when you're exposing yourself to this stuff. You are becoming desensitized, and that's not what we need right now.
Right.
So I'm really sorry that happened to you. And it is going to happen sometimes, but you can use those two things and it should really help.
I really appreciate that. Thank
Okay?
you.
And
Yeah.
you have absolute permission to completely stay away from the news. Terry's put Jessica's information in the chat box below. One of these days, I'm going to contact her and tell her I want to share, I would love to just support her. I'm going to support her work. I do support her work because, this is what we need. We need more journalists who are not into keeping your eyes on the screen, but are actually interested in informing people who want to be informed without traumatized at the same time.
Right.
All right.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Hey, Kathleen Hines, welcome to you. You just want to unmute yourself. There you go.
Yes.
Hi.
You've helped me with a lot of difficult times in my life in the past, so I want to thank you. I wonder if you could comment about my experience with thoughts and observations that come up during meditation, and whether that's still meditating. And I don't mean the kind of mental preoccupation or the kind of intrusive thinking that distracts the intent to be meditating, but it's still mental rather than maintaining focus on just breathing or being. And sometimes I feel like, oh, I should take a note or something.
So you're talking about you feel like you're getting information?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like thoughts, but it's not that kind of gnawing at you, distracting thought.
Yeah. So I'm going to say something that might be a bit controversial. It's how I feel right now. It could change in the future. I don't know. I'm a growing, evolving being, and I give myself permission to grow and evolve and change, right? The mind is a very clever beast. And sometimes that mind will convince you, if it notices, and if the ego notices that you're not paying attention anymore, it will start to tell you things like you're getting wisdom or important information that you need to pay attention to. And I would say that while that might be happening and it might be true and it might be really important information, I would separate your meditation from that experience. So what I mean by that is, if you want to honor and access whatever thoughts and information are coming to you, then do a meditation specifically for that and write down whatever occurs to you when you're done. And keep a separate meditation, like the one we're talking about here for the 10 minutes. Keep that really focused on leaning away from the thoughts, the images, the sounds, the messages, and instead really leaning back into the soul that you are, so that you're really practicing presence, not preoccupation with anything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm just going to go down to the chat box real quick for 1 second to see if we have any questions in here, since I said I would do so. Where are we here? Let me go down to the time where we left. A strange question. Oh, why golden blanket of peace? No, and if it has a negative association, Kathleen, thank you. Feel free to change it. I am not the boss of you. You are. So you can always change whatever I say. I have no attachment to any of that. Yeah, Sharon says she's been doing the presence in the shower. I love that idea. It's a really smart idea. Oh, and Claire, I love that you pray with your dogs before feeding them. It's really beautiful. Okay, let's see. Just trying to get to, what if I'm not noticing any changes? It's just day after day of crazy train during my meditations. I say, Linda, you are noticing that it's crazy train after your, during your meditations, and that is progress. That's awesome. You're doing great. I would say for the first 3 months, that's all I ever noticed was how crazy my mind was. And every now and then I would just get a glimmer of peace. But for the most part, my mind was a crazy train. And the fact that I was noticing that it was a crazy train was success. And I just patted myself on the back for that every single time. Yeah, so, whoops, hold on. I just lost where I was here. Bear with me. Chris says, I feel like I'm forever preoccupied. Rumination, I guess, is another term. Yes. So this meditation is going to help that. You want to just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And remember, I think I said this in one of the earlier times that we were together. It's also really important because a lot of people don't talk about this. It's really important to make sure you're doing what you can to support your physical health so that your adrenal system is able to calm down. For example, if I'm working with a client whose adrenal system is fried, I'm thinking in the past, and they feel amped up all the time because their cortisol levels are all over the place, they might need to go see a good functional medicine doctor or a naturopath just to get some testing done to see what kind of supplements they might need to support the body in calming down so the mind can calm down. It's very hard to calm a mind down when the body's always amped up. They work in concert with each other. They're dancing with each other all the time. So we want to be mindful of both of them, in caring for both of them as we go along. So yes, so Sally, thank you for waiting. Let's see, do you have a quick question, Sally?
Not so much a question, and I know you only wanted questions, but I feel
I did. You know what? I'm a stickler for staying with this for a second. So bear with me, Sally, because I'm going to go to Maria. Maria, do you have a question? Okay. Okay. Then Sally, you can go ahead because Maria doesn't have a question.
I'm really new to this and I have found it very helpful if challenging. I'm the one that cries all the time.
Yep.
But in terms of our meditation on Ukraine, what I have done, and I'm offering this up as an idea, is to know that Putin is God's child, even if he doesn't know it, and that he can't be separated from God and love, and eventually it will get in. And neither is anyone else.
And that's what you hold when you're meditating.
Well, yes, sometimes.
Okay. All right, good. Good. And so for the people here that works for, I say adopt it, use it. Thank you. Thanks, Sally. Maria.
Thank you. Dear Cheryl, hello everyone. I'm speaking from Italy. I can't speak English well, but luckily there are the translated subtitle, and so I can a little. And I'd like to tell you that I'm grateful for this space. And today I ask you a favor, a thought of love for the small community where I live, because you are giving refuge to about 30 women and children from Ukraine who escaped war. And in the meditation, I think I don't want to think at Putin or Ukraine or war. I will remain in my humanity, okay?
Yes.
It's clear. It's okay.
Yes, very
And,
good.
Thank you to you. If we can make a meditation together for these women and children.
Yes.
They are here. Yeah, thank
Beautiful.
you.
Do we have someone here that speaks Italian? If you do, could you raise your hand?
Thank you for my English.
Your English is really beautiful, Maria. You did a great job. Yes. Hug yourself. That's great. Very good job. Everybody completely understood. And yes, we are all happy to send love and warm feelings to all of you and to the people of Ukraine that you're taking care of. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate that so much. And you know, it's a good reminder that, we do. Renee, do you speak Italian? Oh, you don't. Okay. So we do. It's really a beautiful thing to remember that we can hold in our meditations all of the refugees wherever they are in the world that have been. And yes, I see the note also about Syria, and this comes up a lot. There has been so much pain and suffering throughout countries all over the world. And yes, right now, Ukraine is getting a lot of attention, and it's getting so much of the spotlight that it can feel like we've lost sight of the pain and suffering of so many around the world. And I think it's important that I know that in my meditations, I hold the pain and suffering of the world. I do my best to send peace to the whole world, where all of the disharmony and the suffering is happening. And I do not in any way, and I know that all of us here with good hearts don't in any ways minimize the pain and suffering of others. And that's the unfortunate thing, the blessing and the curse of the news, right? Or the lack thereof. Yes, let's see. Okay, well, let me look at the time. Oh, look at that. We have one minute left. So I'm going to, Laura, do you have a question? Hold on. If it's a question, we'll take it. Otherwise, I'm gonna, here we go. Hi.
Hi, do you listen to me?
I do listen to you.
Okay, I know. I just wanted to tell you that I speak Italian. I can help you with Maria.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Could you just please tell Maria, so you can tell her in Italian, that she speaks beautiful English?
Maria, I thought the same that, oh, sorry. Maria, ho pensato lo stesso che Cheryl sta pensando, che parli benissimo l'italiano e l'inglese.
Yes.
E che non hai avuto nessun problema in espressarti. Ero praticamente, ero sorpresa per come sei riuscita a parlare.
Yes, and we're so glad that she's here, and we're so grateful that she's taking care of the refugees in her community.
Yeah, Cheryl is telling you how she's proud of you for what you are doing with your community, with these ladies and with these children. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Cheryl, voleva dirti che lei è molto orgogliosa di come tu e la tua comunità stanno aiutando questi bambini e queste signore che sono lì da voi.
Mm-hmm. And we will hold her and her whole community in our hearts and in our meditations as well.
Yeah. Loro faranno preghiere per voi, per darvi il support, per aiutarvi in questa situazione, e che così avete forza per andare avanti e fare del bene.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Laura. I appreciate it.
Cheryl, I am a lover of you. I consider you a friend of mine. You have helped me so much in my life, and it's the first time I'm talking to you. And and my heart started like pounding like crazy.
Oh.
And I was in silent, and I wasn't using the camera because it's the first time I get in, but it's like God telling me, that's a new opportunity. Use your Italian to show up.
Yes, there you go. Thank you. Well, Laura, I am a lover of you too, and I'm so glad that you're here. And
Thank you.
I wish for you to come back.
Sure. I always listen to the recordings anyway.
Okay, good. So, which reminds me, everybody, so let's meet again, shall we? And let's do 2 weeks from now, which will be Wednesday, April 6th at 4:00. Okay, so mark your calendars. And I'm so happy to be able to speak to the 2 women from Italy. It's one of the places I hope to go to soon. And I will look forward to listen to me, I'm going to start to speak Italian. I speak like an Italian. I will look forward to being with all of you again on the 6th. And remember, the homework is 10 minutes a day, keep up the practice using the tools that we've spoken about. And then also one daily habit that you will use to be more present in your life. Okay? Really just practice being present for that daily habit, whichever it might be. I'm just going to take a quick look in the chat box before we lose it all. And yes, thank you, everybody. I'm so glad that this is helpful. And I'm so glad that you show up and that you're doing this together with all of us. May there be a ceasefire very, very soon. All right. Lots of love, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.